Shoots and Scores Hockey Talk, where we talk everything hockey. I am John.
I'm Mike.
I'm Chris.
All right, gentlemen, let's go. The first topic on the docket tonight is, this is a story that got my attention. Rumor has it that Montreal wants to trade Patrik Laine. No shit. I'm sure they do, right? Not a shocker at all. But there are some in the organization that are not willing to throw the towel in quite so quickly, and apparently Matthew Danino is one of them, because while he was appearing on a popular hockey podcast, La Poche Bleu, or whatever the hell it's called, to raise the idea of seeing Laine on the Habs first line is what Danino was explaining. He expects Laine to be motivated when he returns to the ice, as he wants to prove his worth in order to sign a new contract over the summer. Nothing shows motivation like new contracts. Gentlemen, as much as I know you despise Laine, or maybe despise is not the correct word, is this possible? Could this actually happen? Does Danino have a point here? Chris, let's start with you this week. Nothing says let's produce like I'm going to get a new contract.
So, what is La Pouche? I know bleu is blue, but what is La Pouche?
I don't know. I don't even know. That's how you pronounce it.
All right. Is this
but
Matthew Danino?
It's a popular hockey podcast in Quebec. So
popular. Okay, and is Matthew Danino related to JJ Danino? Is that the same guy, or
I don't think they're related.
No,
different guys. Okay. And so, who is Matthew Danino? What is he?
Well, just answer the question.
These are just fans, right? These are fans, right? Okay. I think Matthew Danino needs to move on to water polo or some other sport that's not too difficult to follow. Patrik Laine's career has been dead since 2011? Oh, 2021, 2020, 2022. His career is dead. All he can do is stand along the right or the left hash mark on the power play and shoot the puck. That is it. That is all he can bring to a team. If he's talking about him putting him on the first line, Laine cannot play 20 minutes. And if you want to watch him play 20 minutes, you're going to lose 7-3, right? That's the way it's going to be. He cannot play 20 minutes up and down the wing. That is a joke. I'm assuming these guys are homers for the Montreal Canadiens. Well, it sounds like a homer comment to think that Patrik Laine is.
They're probably big Canadiens fans.
Oh yeah.
He used to play for the Canadiens. Danino. He was a defenseman.
He used to play, right?
One of the reporters.
JJ, yeah, that was just a joke. I know they're not related, but yeah, that was a joke. No. These guys are just homer fans, and they're sitting there praying that crappy player can turn into a star, and it's going to deliver them from. They already have an awesome power play. Laine's not moving the needle on the power play. This is stupid. He's never going to play in the first line. His career is done. Let's not talk about Patrik Laine ever again.
Mike, come on, give me a little bit of credit here. It's nothing shows that I'm going to work harder like a new contract, right? Come on, tell me I'm right.
Here's the thing. What are they actually going to get for him? If they were to trade him, what are they getting for him?
Well, nobody's going to give anything
that, they're better off just keeping him and hoping that they can get some offense out of him. But, he's hurt way too often. You can't rely on him. He's not I wouldn't mess with the first line. Why would they? It's been producing. So it makes no sense. So, the talk of him joining the team and being on the first line, I don't know. If they experiment with it and they lose a couple of games, he's going to be playing third, fourth line minutes when he comes back. So, and what's he going to get for a contract next year? Nobody's giving him any money. But he'd probably be a fit in Carolina, though, right?
No, he'll be he'll be fit on is it AZ bars or AK bars or some team in Russia. That's where he's going to be a good fit, where he can smoke 10 packs a day, play 12 minutes on the power play, and that's what he is. To think that he's going to change. How old is he now? 25, 26?
Oh, geez, he's older than that. He's
He's
got to
He's
be
older than
27.
30
that.
now.
He's 27 or
Like
28.
30.
Yeah, so he's had a good 2 years, and then he's been absolute dog since then. This is
Yeah.
ridiculous that we're still talking about. I think Montreal might have been the only team in the league that picked up Laine 2 years ago, right? Only team in the league, and now, yeah, come on.
Well, I mean, now that you're going to tell us exactly how you feel
Niall
about
doesn't
this,
think much of him either.
I can tell.
As far as a contract that he's be playing for next year, no team's giving him more than $2 million
Minimum,
bucks
minimum. He's
to
getting
prove
minimum.
he can still
Anybody
play.
pays him minimum.
1 year deal.
Do you, if he did come back and was in the lineup, whose spot would he actually take?
Well, that's the thing. Montreal's playing well. Why mess with it? So,
So they're probably just not going to bring him back.
well, they will. They'll have to.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. Like I said, he's a power play specialist. Their power play is running well. He doesn't bring anything to the fourth line, so I don't know. I don't know
okay.
what they're
All
going
right.
to do, but I think La Pouche Bleu had a very slow podcast day, and they're like, let's make up some stuff to get some engagement, and they got Whitey engaged, and now we're engaged. let's
You guys love it.
let's move off.
If he ends up in Carolina, I will be talking about it every day. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Or Toronto. Oh,
We'll have to have
geez.
a weekly progress report.
Now,
That's
the
right.
difference is Carolina's power play could use someone that could shoot the puck like that. But no, I don't see him going there either.
All right. Let's go on to our second topic since you guys shot that down big time. Or Chris did anyway. At least Mike gave me a little bit of credit here. Second topic is Sidney Crosby. Now, he's 38 years old. He has 27 goals, 30 assists, 57 points in 51 games. Once again, ahead of the 1 point per game pace, with a total of 1,744 points in his career. I believe that he has an outside shot at 2,000 points, and that would make him the second player ever to do it. How likely is this to happen, guys? What do you think? Right now, he is 256 points away. If you give him 35 points for the rest of the season, which I think is reasonable, he'd be 221 points away. Mike, what do you think? Is this even possible?
Well, it all depends how long he wants to play. If he plays 3 more years, yeah, I can't see him not getting to that level. But he's got to play 3 years to do it. So that's what it comes down to, is how much longer is he going to play for? And I would think at his current rate, he probably would play 3 more years. So I think it's doable if he actually plays 3 more seasons. So.
Okay. Chris, what do you think? You think this is possible? Or do you think that, like, I know Mike's saying 3 more years, but he could deteriorate. His skills could deteriorate within those 3 years. And
I'm factoring that in. So if you factor in the points that he'll get the rest of this year, and then how many points did you say he would need? 210?
70 points a year.
yeah,
Yeah.
221.
For
Yeah.
three.
So I can
If he
see
got
him
35
being,
more points.
An average of 70 points a year. So even if he had 80 points, then 70 points, and then 60 points, I mean, I think it's doable if he plays 3 seasons.
Chris,
And
what do you
there's
say?
no work stoppage or injuries or something like that, which he's been relatively healthy most of his career.
Yep, it's true.
Yeah, it's like this really to me ties to Ovechkin, right? Getting the goal scoring record. Crosby and Ovi has been kind of linked hip to hip, right, over their career. Getting 2,000 points, kind of, that's a big deal. That's a huge deal.
Yes.
Particularly in the era they played versus Wayne. Like, you don't want to shoot down Wayne, but Wayne was playing games where 8-7 was common. Crosby never played in an era like that, right? So if that's a goal of his, to get to 2,000 points, to kind of be, look, yeah, Ovi won the goal scoring record, but I'm second in points with 2,000. That comes down to ego, I would say, more than anything else for him, if that's what he wants. Can he do it? 70 points a season for 3 more after that. It'll be tough. I would love to see him do it, though. And I think he's got a good chance. But, yeah, it depends on when he saw like how many years he's going to extend for. Right?
Right. Right.
If he extends for 3, then I think this might be a number that he's looking at.
Now, just
I
to
think Sidney Crosby right now, you wouldn't consider him the best player ever or the second or third, but you probably have him 4 or 5. I don't think that matters if he gets to 2,000 or not. I think he's still going to be 4 or 5, right? Um, so this is more of a legacy thing for him if he thinks it's important or not. If he thinks it's important, yeah, and he signs a 3-year extension here in the off season, I think there's a good chance he could get to that number.
put some numbers out there, in order to be in second place, he doesn't need 2,000 points. If he just wanted to have the second most points, Yager had 1921. He's in second place. If you wanted to pass Yager and you give him 35 points this year, he would only need 142 more
Mm-hmm.
for second place overall.
But
But
2,000's got a nice number to it. If you get
it
2,000,
does.
that's
It
a
does. I
nice.
just wanted to put that out there, the Yager.
That's a number that would be tough for all these new players or players in NHL now to get to. Yeah,
And currently he's in eighth place. And by the end of the year, he'll probably be in sixth. So I just thought I would throw that out there and see what you guys thought. And by the way, it's our good friend Claude is the one that mentioned this to me about him getting 2,000 points. So I thought I would put it in the podcast. I thought it was interesting.
Did he think he could do it, or did he think he wouldn't do it?
No, he thinks he can do it. He thinks that he's going to do it. I certainly think it's possible. I hope he does do it. It'd be quite the feat to get 2,000 points because I don't think you'll ever see it again. So not unless the whole game changes.
McDavid's on track, I think, for that, but yeah, it'll be very, very rare. It'll be very, very rare.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go on to our third topic in tonight's discussion, and that is an article from Sportsnet by Josh Benito.
Is he related to Matthew Dandino?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. 7 potential replacements for injured Braden Point. Now, I wasn't even going to talk about this until I saw who some of these players were. I don't think this is any particular order, but number 1 here is Zach Hyman, of course. And number 2 is Mark Scheifele. Number 3 is Connor Bedard. 4 is Sam Bennett from Florida. 5, Steven Stamkos. So I was kind of surprised to see that in there. Number 6 is Wyatt Johnson. And number 7, finally, is Seth Jarvis. And that's why I said, well, I wonder what Chris thinks about this. So, Chris, I'm going to ask you first.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this? If Point is out, what do you think? And the second part to this I want to know is, just because X player is going to get picked, do you think that's the person that really should have been picked? There's a lot of politics when it comes involved in this stuff. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. So is this his list of Hyman is number 1 that he would take? And okay,
the list of in the order had nothing to do with it. He just listed 7 players.
Oh, not an order of his preference.
It's not an order. It's just he listed players.
Okay.
I numbered them.
All right. Okay. So Josh is not he's not putting himself in a corner. That's good.
No, he's not actually picking them in the order that I wrote them down. So
yeah, did Braden Point play center at the Four Nations? I believe he did. Right? He did play center ice. I don't remember him moving to the wing, right? So, yeah.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he was centerman.
So, from my standpoint, if Braden Point can't go, you have to bring a centerman. Now, if I remember correctly, Braden Point was a third-line center, right? He wasn't a top 2 center. It was McDavid and McKinnon, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, that automatically says no to Mark Scheifele. There's no chance. He's not a third, fourth line. He doesn't play any defense, so you can strike his name right away. Same for Connor Bedard. He is horrible defensively. No shot. He's got no chance to step in. Scheifele would have a chance. If the top 2 was open, then I could see him being brought up, right? If McKinnon or McDavid's hurt, then I can see him. But in a bottom 6, no. Sam Bennett would be a great choice. Third line center, probably playing with Cirelli and Hagel. That seems the most logical choice. Stamkos, that's what the kids call recency bias these days. It's the new thing on the block, the new thing in your face. Oh, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread because I see it now. No, sorry. Can't play defense either. Can't play center ice anymore. Wyatt Johnson, he's I'm not sure what happened with Wyatt Johnson, why he didn't get more love in the whole selection process. He does play center ice. Overall stats are pretty good on the analytics side, so he could be a choice. But again, if it's a third line center, I'm leaning towards Sam Bennett. And Jarvis doesn't play center, so I'm not. To me, I think if a winger goes down, that's probably when you might see Seth Jarvis get a chance. But at the center ice, no, he wouldn't be considered a replacement for Braden Point. Will they pick somebody? Name a person that who should be. What was that? Is it likely the
Well,
person named is a
you
player
think
who should be going?
you think it should be Sam Bennett? Do you think that they're actually going to pick Sam Bennett?
Or I forgot Zach Hyman. Sorry, yeah, Zach Hyman is a winger, not a center. So to me, that again, that also puts him out. Zach Hyman is a guy that a few people out there really bang the drums for to make this team.
It's true. We've been talking about this a little bit, and I've seen more
Yeah,
articles about it.
I feel like Zach Hyman is like Rob Brown was for Mary Lemieux. Good player, but not the star player when playing with a superstar player like McDavid. So that's my opinion. I don't think he's that. He's good, but he's not 50, wherever 60 goals he scored. Good. Sorry, let's move on for that. But yeah, Sam Bennett to me if Braden Point can't go, especially if Point is projected to be the third line center for Team Canada, then that would be the logical replacement in my mind.
Mike, what do you think of Chris's ultimate analysis?
Ultimate.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much on point with all of that, and I think Sam Bennett should be the guy as well. Um, I mean, the other guy that I would consider would be Wyatt Johnston. However, because it would be the third line center role, Sam Bennett is far more capable of playing that role than Wyatt Johnston. Not that he can't, but I think Sam Bennett's experience and his defensive play would take precedence, whereas Wyatt Johnson is more of an offensive guy. So Andy's younger and doesn't have, as much experience as Sam Bennett does. So I would lean towards Sam Bennett as well. So, I mean, I was surprised that he didn't make the team off the get go. Um, I mean, I know it's a numbers game and you got to get Celebrini in there. So with Celebrini playing, it could be on the fourth line. So if it's a fourth line role, Sam Bennett definitely fills that spot. So
Mm-hmm.
um, is Celebrini going to play wing or center?
I'm assuming wing.
I,
But
Yeah,
I
again, they
can't
also got
imagine them playing
Suzuki, right?
center.
Maybe like
yeah,
if they move Suzuki to third line center,
yeah.
then yeah, Sam Bennett
That's
fourth
the
line
thing. I
center,
think I think
100%.
Suzuki is probably the third line center. To be honest with you, I think Point was probably going to play the wing, but
Yeah.
um, I think Sam Bennett, if you're going to have bring someone on and have them, play the fourth line center role too, that Sam Bennett can do that with ease. So I think he
Mhm.
should be the guy. I think he will be the guy. I think he's probably the first one that's going to get a call to, you know, um, I know it was hard leaving him off the team, so I think he's the first guy that gets on.
But that's the only question I have about all this. They did leave him off the team. Like, why? Does he have an X on his back? And they're like, no, you naughty naughty. Like,
I
what the
just
hell
don't think
happened?
they could pass up Celebrini.
It's Celebrini and
Celebrini basically
Suzuki.
took his spot.
I think Celebrini and Suzuki took. Yeah,
Yeah.
they decided to go with those two guys, and then it became Sam
A
Bennett became
numbers,
a little more redundant.
a
Who
numbers
else
game.
missed the team? Because they brought two in. Who came off? Bennett and who?
Jarvis,
Jarvis. Okay, yeah, Konechny too. Konechny didn't make it.
yeah,
So
and they brought in Wilson.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
So yeah, I think Sam Bennett's the guy, and I think he's going to be the guy when they. I'd be surprised if it was somebody else.
Okay. All right. So Josh Beneteau is not so bad after all. Then maybe.
No. I'm a little tired of the Zach Hyman stuff, but other than that, who do you think, Whitey? Who would you take?
Well, to me, it should have been Sam Bennett all along. But I mean, you probably can't go wrong with any of them, really. Except for, like you said, maybe Bedard is not such a great idea. You
Steven
know,
Stamkos? You go really
oh
bad there.
no, I'm not a big. I just think he's lost a step personally, but whatever. Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens. we'll wait and see what happens here. It's not that far off, and we'll be talking about it once it happens. So,
Mhm.
all right, let's go on to our fourth topic for tonight. I'm going to name a few teams here, guys, and if the trade deadline were today, I would like to know if you gentlemen think they would be buyers or sellers right now. Okay, I've got a few interesting ones here, I think. So
Mhm.
I'm going to start with, and we'll start with Mike first. Okay, Pittsburgh Penguins, Mike. If the trade deadline was today, where they're sitting right now, would they be buyers or sellers,
I think they
or
would be
or
buyers right
neither?
now.
You think
Yeah,
they would be buyers? Yeah,
I think they would right now. They're playing well. They're playing above expectations. Crosby
definitely
was playing
above.
great. What's that?
Definitely playing above expectation. They're in seventh
Yeah,
place in the
I
conference.
mean,
So
Skinner looks like he's playing well too. I mean, maybe he needed to get out of Edmonton. Maybe the pressure was too much for him there.
well, it
So,
sure seems like it.
I mean, there's definitely less pressure on him in Pittsburgh than there was in Edmonton. So, yeah, if I'm Pittsburgh, I'd be buying. And when I say buying, I don't mean like Panarin or uh, the big name guys, but I think I would be trying to get some depth that they could make make the playoffs and see what happens. But
So
that's
a
what I
third
think. I think
liner.
they'd be buyers. Yeah.
Chris, what do you think about Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's quite ironic because in the off season, I said, and the general hockey world said that Pittsburgh was the only team trying to sell. Everyone else thought, hey, we have a chance next year, right? We don't want to move players out. And now we get here and they're winning. They're in the playoffs. They're on pace for 98, 99 points or something. They're 100% buyers now. But I agree with Mike. I don't. They're not going with free agent big
Right.
tag guys. I
They're
think they're
not
looking more
big,
for hockey deals.
right.
Yeah, if there's a hockey deal out there that could be done, that's what they're looking for. I don't see them picking up any free unless it's like a minor free agent because they're trying to build their young depth too, right? They're still looking a couple years from now, even though they're getting great production from some fillers like Mantha and Brazil, um, right? Because they would love to trade Ricard Raquel and Rust, right? But they can't. They can't anymore, right? So yeah, they're definitely buyers.
Do they have cap room space? I'm not even sure. I should have checked it. Does anyone, neither one of you
I
know?
I think that they
Oh,
should have. I mean, it's not like
They
they were
should.
making
I don't know.
any splashes. I could check right quick. I have it right here. So
yeah, you might as well look it up. I should have checked it, but
yeah, they've got a ton of cap room space. They have projected $52 million in cap deadline space. So they
Yeah.
they are loaded with cap space.
so they could do pretty much whatever they want, without selling everybody. So okay, well let's go on to the second team I've got listed here. Chris, the San Jose Sharks. They're in a playoff spot. Should they look for some veterans to help the team or make a
No,
splash?
no, I still don't understand the trade last week. No, they are in a rebuild process. They got a lot of young assets. It's not the time to start bringing in older guys and 30-year-olds and giving them contracts. No, they shouldn't be. It's a process, and they got to stick with it. I don't know what Mike Greer is trying to do, but they should be selling and not buying.
Mike, what do you think? San Jose Sharks.
Well, here's the thing. I agree with Chris. They should be selling and not buying, but it's tough to say. I mean, Mike Greer with a movie made last week makes it look like they're buyers, um,
It's true.
which is a little puzzling. I mean, they do have cap room. They got a whatever 6 or 7 million. Plus, they still haven't put Logan Couture on long-term injured reserve. So, if they did that, and I think his career's done, I think, isn't it? So if they put him on long-term injured reserve, then it creates even more cap space. So I don't know. San Jose, I think they're going to be, I think they're going to be buyers just based off of what they've been doing so far. And when I say buyers, I don't think they're swinging for the fences either. but I think they want to get in the playoffs, get some of these guys some playoff experience, and go from there. I don't think they think they're a Stanley Cup contender. However, if it's not going to cost them a lot, and I know they generally, and I know one of the reasons they made the trade with Vancouver is because they had a decent amount of draft picks available. So if that's still the case, I mean they would be buyers, but it would be marginal. They're not going to trade away their young guys. They're not going to trade away their prospects. They'll they might trade some picks, like second and third round picks for some depth guys, but I think they're going to be buyers, but I don't think they should be. But that's my thought on them.
Yeah, I put them in there on purpose because of the trade last week. I was like, man, this is
Yeah,
interesting. So, all right, Mike, the Anaheim Ducks.
the Ducks should be sellers. With Leo Carlson getting hurt, and they've hit a rash of injuries there lately too. Troy Terry's been hurt, so they should be selling. I don't know if they have a ton to sell, though, to be honest with you, as far as, upcoming free agents. I'll just take a quick gander here since I got the site open. I mean, they've got depth guys to sell, but they don't have much. So I think they've got the other ones that they could move would be Truba and Gudis. That would get them some pieces or some draft picks, but they should be selling. I don't think that they are equipped to make a playoff run. And if Pat Verbeek is smart, he should see things the same way.
Chris, what do you think about Anaheim?
Yeah. When you set this out, I looked at Anaheim, and I'm gonna say status quo. Right? You're not buying, you're not selling, because you're kind of that middle ground. He's already gone on and got the veterans, right? Kreider,
Yep.
Truba, Ratko Gudis, right? He's already done that. So there's no reason to continue to go get old guys that are kind of passive prime. And you're not moving your young guys. So if I'm Anaheim, I'm just status quo for this year and keep building and for next year.
Okay. And then, of course, I had to throw Philadelphia Flyers in here. I know Mike probably thinks that they're not buyers, but Chris, what do you think? Do you
Oh,
think?
there's people on the
They already
interwebs
bought.
that are
They
full
re-signed
time
Dvorak.
sell, sell, sell. And the first mistake was not selling on Christian Dvorak. That is 100%. Yeah, they're 100% sell. Um, Again, it's a process to kind of. I don't. They're not doing a full rebuild, but they are trying to do a retool, and it still takes a while to do that. And
Right.
they should not be buying and trying to make the playoffs. They should be trying to maximize the assets that they have and get future assets.
Mike?
Yeah, they should be selling, but when you
Are
look
they
at what
going
they
to?
have, what what do they have that they can actually trade and get any value for? To be honest,
Rasmus
well,
Ristolainen.
he's the guy, right? He's the one guy that doesn't have a lot of time left on his contract. He's got 1 year left after this. He's the guy that would get them probably the biggest return. The other guys that they've got, I don't think, there's very little value in the rest of their upcoming free agents. So, um, yeah, they should move Rasmus Ristolainen and sell. I think they're going to stick around the status quo, but I do think Ristolainen is probably the guy that will be moved. I know there's been some talk about Tippett and even Bobby Brink because he's an upcoming restricted free agent, but I would just love it if they could get rid of Garnet Hathaway. I would love it if they could get rid of him. I don't know if you guys saw the game against Utah
Oh, I
uh,
did not see it.
last
No.
week. Flyers are up by a goal. He gets a breakaway on the empty net. A breakaway on an empty net. He starts coasting. One of the Utah players caught up to him, took the puck from him. Utah goes up, minute later, scores, ties the game, and then wins in overtime. I was livid. Like they threw that game in the garbage. I said they shouldn't play him again for the rest of the year. If you can't if you can't shoot the puck from the face-off circle into an empty net, you shouldn't be playing. If you have to walk it all the way in like he was trying to do, anyways, get him off the team. He's a bum. But anyways, Flyers should be selling, but it's the Flyers. You never know what they're going to do.
It's another reason why I put them out there. And I listed one
Make me
more
mad.
team. Well, of course, that's why I put it up. One more team here, though, I wanted to talk about because, well, they've just done so much better than I thought they were going to do. And that's the Boston Bruins, Mike. What do you think? Are they going to buy?
What?
Are they going to buy?
I think that they are going to buy. And like I said, I don't think that they're trying to hit any big home runs either. However, they did make the play for Rasmus Anderson, which was, one of the top defensemen that's going to be available. So they made a play for him, didn't get him. But I think they're going to add on. I mean, in the position that they're at, they can make the playoffs. I wouldn't have thought this at the start of the year, but the problem with that team is they're a one-line team, and Elias Lindholm got hurt last night. So with that being said, I don't know what his status is, how long he's going to be out for, what the injury specifically was, but he's their first-line center, so I guess they'll have to see what the situation is there and then make some decisions. But I think they are probably going to be buyers.
Chris, what do you think?
There should be a status quo team also like Anaheim, but surprisingly, they were trying to put a package together to get Rasmus Anderson. Cam Neely, I think he just refuses to accept the facts, what's in front of him. And he's probably pushing Sweeney to continue to try to add some pieces and hopefully, become a playoff team at least, I guess, is their goal. They're one. David Pastrnak gets hurt, that team's done. Like he is the star of that team. He does so much for that group, and yeah, if he misses any time, they're toast. So I don't know why they're trying to buy or get better. They really need a lot of pieces before they are a true contender again. And
we've mentioned
it
it.
should stay status quo.
We've mentioned it here before that for some reason players seem to go to Boston though, and they just seem to do better. I don't know what it is. If it's the culture, if it's the air, if it's being a Bruin, I don't know what it is, but we've seen it before. Players go there and they're like, oh yeah. So, and then they become, not superstars maybe, but stars. It's kind of strange how it goes.
So the thing too with the Bruins is they do have 2 first-round picks this year, 2 first-round picks next year. So, they do have picks potentially available if they wanted to make a splash. So,
man,
but
you hate ditching those first-round picks. So,
what's that?
You hate ditching those first-round picks.
Yeah, I mean their second line is weak. It's Pasternak, Lindholm, and Geeky, and then the second line they've got, Zaka, as a Middlestat, and whoever they put on that line with them. But they don't have a strong second line. Those guys are more suited to play on the third line, so they need a couple of good second line pieces to actually, do something. But I don't think that they have. I don't think that they can get what they're looking for. So it's probably, minor upgrades just to get in the playoffs, I think.
Is there anybody that you think is actually going to make a big splash? I know that the splashes have already been made potentially, but do you think there's any team out there that should or is going to?
Well, I think Montreal is going to get a second line center, whether it's Zibanejad or Ryan O'Reilly, Nazem Kadri. There's talk that there's 3 or 4 of these guys that are going to be available. We'll see. I think Montreal will make a play to get better. And then you got your power teams. I mean, they're always gonna be interested, and they're gonna check to see what's out there. Carolina, um, Vegas, even though they just got Rasmus Anderson. Uh, the teams that are going to make the push, Dallas. I mean, there's going to be teams that are going to try to get these guys as well. But I think Montreal will get a second line center. If I was a betting man, I would say it's probably going to be Zibanejad, but that's my thought. So I think Montreal will do something.
Chris, what do you think?
Well, whoever gets Panarin is going to make a big splash. Right?
Yeah,
That's the marquee guy out there, and then a bunch of I the St. Louis stuff, right? They even came out and said Thomas and Kyrou, they're listening, but they want the world. I just don't know what team's going to do that during the season. Maybe in the off season, but not during the season. So
Right.
I think they'd
it's
move
probably one of
Cairo
the
though.
coaches. I
Cairo
think
would be easier to get than Thomas, I would
they
think.
still want a lot, right? And Kyrie's
Yeah.
got 30 goal scoring years, right? Like you're not getting him for a pick and
Yeah.
some middle prospect. You got to pay for that, and I don't know if teams really want to. Plus, he's got the contract, which kind of hurts a little bit. But
Yeah,
I
it's a
just
little
don't know if
over
St.
eight
Louis will
million.
move either one. Um, like Thomas and Carolina would be great. The talk of Nikishkin going is no, no. Uh, Nikishkin's available for a star, not a second line center. So that's not happening, and if that's what they want, that won't happen either. But no, Panarin's a big fish, and whoever makes that move, that's a big splash.
Okay. All right. Let's go on to our hockey profits segment where I say you two are the hockey profits, and it's my show, and what I say goes. So, gentlemen, are you ready for the hockey profit questions?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Chris, number one. Does Palat to the Islanders make the Islanders a better playoff team?
Andre Palat is, again, example A of why you don't sign 30-year-old guys who work hard, big bucks, multi years when they hit that age, right? Devil's been trying to get rid of him for 2 years
I
because
know.
he hit that wall. Um, and I guess the connection is Matthew Darsh was in the Tampa Bay organization, and I don't know. I don't know. The Islanders is a mystery to me how they're winning hockey games. If Palat helps them win more games, all power to them. But that's just a mystery team, and I don't think that trade. And plus, no money retained another year or two on the contract. I almost feels like Lou Lamoriello is still running the team. That's what it feels like. But
Maybe he is.
yeah.
All right, number two, Mike. Is the problem with the Canadians goalies their goalie coach? Because Eric Raymond was fired today. Is that the problem with the goalies?
You know, I saw that, and the timing, it's a little odd. I don't know if it's a problem with the goalie coach. I just don't think Montembeault is that great, to be honest.
Never thought he was good. I never thought he was good.
I mean, I think Dobish has played better than expected. So, I can't say that's the goalie coach's problem because he's done better than I thought he would. And Fowler looked all right when he was up. I mean, he's a young kid. So, I mean, he had some really good games, he had some bad games. So, I mean, obviously the consistency wasn't there. But yeah, I was surprised by it. I mean, if they're letting him go because Montembeault hasn't played well, I think they made a mistake because I just don't think Montembeault is that good. I mean, he's an average goalie. He's probably better suited as a number two or a 1B, but not the 1A. So, yeah, I don't think it was a great move for them. I mean, I don't really know their goalie coach, aside from, looking at the numbers that the goalies have produced. So, I mean, I don't see where he was the problem, though, unless there's something more to it than what they've said. But as far as numbers go, I don't think he's to blame for any of that.
I think the timing is really suspicious, like you said, and I don't think it has anything to do with the numbers. I don't know. It's just strange. They wanted to shake it up, so they just said, "Well, let's get rid of the goalie coach because we can't get rid of the goalies." I mean, that's what it looks like.
Yep. reeks of desperation.
I mean, we
Yeah.
will
Hoping
see.
for a
We will
spark.
see. You know what? We'll let's talk about this again in 2 or 3 weeks and see if there's been any improvement with the team. So,
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
2 and 3
Number
weeks. That's the Olympic break.
well, all
after
right.
after the
Whatever.
Olympics.
They'll be improving their tan in Cancun or something like that. But
Number 3, Chris.
yep,
Patrik Laine is tied with Dallas's Mike Modano for most points by a U.S.-born player,
U.S.
1,374 points. Will Kane break the record against your favorite team, the Capitals, while they're hosting them on Thursday night?
Sure, why not? It's the Capitals. They've been giving up some goals recently. They'll probably fire their goalie coach here shortly. So yeah, it's going to be a banner night for Patrik Laine.
No, I don't think they're going to fire their goalie coach. No way. I can't see it happening. All right. And number 4, Mike, this is a question I wanted to ask last week, Mike, but we ran out of time. So I brought it back from the dead. Okay. So what did you think of the goalie fight between Nedeljkovic and Bobrovsky on January the 20th? Was that the best goalie fight you've ever seen or what?
I wouldn't say it's the best one I've seen, but I was glad to see it. I mean, it's been so long since we've seen one. And the fact that basically that was the only fight, which is the weird thing. Normally, the goalies only go at it once there's already two
Everyone
or
else is
three other
fighting.
fights on the go. So
Yeah.
basically, to have all the players stop what they're doing and just watch, that was, and I mean, it was on all the sports channels there for like the next day or two. They were going on and on and on about it. So I mean,
There was a ton of articles written about it.
yeah, I mean, hey, I love to see the goalie fights. I mean, I've been a Flyers fan since way back, and Ron Hextall used to fight with anybody who would dare come close, player or goalie. So, yeah, no, I thought it was great. I wish there was more of them. I know Bennington has made some attempts to get goalies to fight with him, but
Nobody
uh,
wants to touch them.
well, I mean, generally, I think the other goalies in the other net are just not, want no part of fighting. So, but Bobrovsky, I guess, got to do something in Florida to get that team fired up. I mean, they're
Well,
not
that's what I
playing
was
great.
wondering.
So
Do you think that he did that to try and fire the team up? Because I mean, he
I think
skated all the
so.
way to the other end of the ice.
I think so. I mean,
Probably
that team
frustrated
needs
too.
to get it going
Yeah.
here. Like they can't keep
Yeah.
dragging their feet. They got to start winning some games. They can't, like, they're 6 points out, but they've got some games in hand. So I mean, it's there for the taking, but they've got to play better. So I think it was more to spark the team as opposed to just going down there just to fight. So, and then I know they showed some pictures afterwards of Bobrovsky standing there in the dressing room, and they're like, "This is the guy that started this whole brawl." Like, I mean, Bobrovsky's not a very big man whatsoever. So, so they had some fun with it. I liked it. I wish there was a little bit more of it, but it is what it is.
Okay, guys. Now, is there anything else that you wanted to go over tonight that I didn't bring up? Because I know there was a ton of news out there. So, is there anything else you wanted to mention?
Oh, your comment there about best goalie fight. Well, what do you think is the best goalie fight that you've seen? Is it Osgood and Roy?
Yeah, I would say that's probably the best one. I mean, they were throwing them pretty good. So, I mean,
Who's
Hextall's. What's that?
Yeah, I was going to say the Roy and Osgood is probably the most popular one because
Yeah,
TV was starting to expand them. But Potvin had a good one too, did he not?
with Hextall. Yeah,
Oh, was it that with Hextall?
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. He cut him on that one. So, I mean, Hextall's been in a few. So, but I mean, the one that I liked the most wasn't as much of a goal. Wasn't really a goalie fight, but way back in the '80s when Hextall went after Chris Chelios. Like, I love that.
Oh, I remember that.
That was awesome. But as far as an actual goalie fight of them actually throwing good punches, yeah, I gotta say it's probably Roy and Osgood because that went on for a little while. The referees didn't even try to break that up. So,
Well, they didn't
uh,
want to get in the middle of it.
well, there was all this other stuff on the go that they were probably more concerned about with, like, Claude Lemieux. I think everybody wanted to fight him, so they had to make sure
McCarty.
that that McCarty and Claude Lemieux and all these guys. So Yeah, but that's probably the best one. I would say is probably Roy and Osgood.
I can't remember if it was if Claude Lemieux. He led the playoffs one year when they won the cup. He led the playoffs one year. I think it was in points. It may have been goals, but I'm pretty sure it was points. But I remember he was scoring on floaters, some weak ass shots, and they're going in the net. And I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me! What the hell's going on here?
That was probably the year he won the MVP.
Yes, yeah, I'm
How
sure
is
it
he
was
not in the Hall of Fame? I don't
because
understand it.
everybody hates
Like,
him so much. I guess.
it doesn't matter. Like he's played his role perfectly on every team. He's got multiple Stanley Cups. How is he not in the Hockey Hall of Fame?
But does he have three
I
Stanley
don't
Cups?
get it. What?
Does he have
Yeah,
three
he's
Stanley
got
Cups?
with. Yeah, I think he's got 2 or 3 Stanley Cups, doesn't he? New
Probably
Jersey,
not enough points.
Colorado.
Yeah. Well, I was just guessing. I figured it was three, but I mean, I don't know for
Yeah, he
sure.
won in '86,
I think he's
Yeah,
got
so he has
2 or
one of
3.
them.
and
Playoff
he's won
'93,
Montreal.
MVP,
and then
Uh,
Colorado.
and he had a long career. He wasn't anywhere close to being a 100-point player, but he'd chip in 50 to 60 points a year, play the role that he had to perfection. Nobody played it better. When you look at, if you were to name off who the biggest agitator that could contribute in the NHL was, it'd be pretty hard not to say Claude Lemieux was in the top 3. So, but that's my
I agree.
opinion.
I agree. Okay, gentlemen. So we'll leave it there for this week. Like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you all next week. Later.
Later.